and how they can possibly happen. We've touched on this briefly when I told you that I did an interview with Leonard Ellerby that saying that there was no chance Tank will be on the zone. I imagine he's the A side against Tevin Farmer?
Yeah, he is. He is. But that's another example of what we talked about earlier. Like, you can't, in my opinion, you shouldn't dismiss. Like, what right do you have to dismiss an opportunity like that for one of your fighters by just going, no way, it's not happening? It's like, have you looked at it? Have you explained the money that we've offered to Tevin Farmer? Because I don't believe they've told Tevin Farmer the money that we've offered them for that fight. And if they haven't, that's very, very normal. Because if he saw the numbers that have been offered, I know he would go, fuck, sign me up. You know, and after Tevin Farmer boxes next Friday, maybe we'll go again with another big offer.
What's the pecking order for Tevin Farmer? I know Ryan Garcia is a big, popular Instagram fighter.
I think Ryan is a very good fighter. I think he needs time. You know, like, he's still not a novice, but he's still learning. He's going to keep improving. But for
what's the next thing that's not Tank for Tevin Farmer? If there's no,
I think the Bechelt fight is a great fight. It's a unification with the WBC. You have Ito, who's the Japanese champion as well, super featherweight. There's some big fights out there for them. But the Tank fight remains a super fight, and there's not many super fights in that kind of division. You know, that can be built. The build-up will be unbelievable. Two great fighters, two great personalities. We want to see it. I just feel like promoters should never go, no. Like, well, have you even looked into it? No, it's not happening. It's not happening. Why? No, we're not going on to zone. Why? You're going to rob your client of that kind of money for that kind of fight.
Now, Oscar made headlines recently talking about the prospect of $1 billion fight, Canelo versus Mayweather. I mean, it gets the headlines going crazy. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a good fight. It's one of the few fights I'd be...
Canelo's locked into the zone, you know.
Floyd would have to come to the zone.
Okay.
I'm sure he'd enjoy taking the owners to the cleaners on that one. But it's possible. You know, they have the money to do it. But will Floyd fight Canelo? I don't think so. But it is one of the few Floyd fights that gets me excited because it is a great fight.
It was maybe a year or two ago, maybe 2 years, where me and you did an interview where you said you believed the 40-year-old Floyd could beat Triple G. Is that still your opinion of Floyd? I mean, just that he can fight a middleweight?
When Floyd was not in his prime, but I mean, he's not, you know, how old is he now? 42, 43?
Yeah, he just had his birthday.
Yeah, we're 3 years past. I believe 3 or 4 years ago, he could have beaten not just Triple G, anyone.
Okay.
Certainly up to 160.
Okay.
You know? So that's how good he was. But now the game's changed. You know, the hunger would have gone a little bit. He won't be as sharp as he was 3 years ago, naturally. But he's still going to be very, very difficult to beat. Can Canelo beat him? At what weight? You know, Canelo ain't going to be making 154, that's for sure. So Floyd up at 160 v Canelo, that's a tough fight.
You and Steven Espinoza, big Twitter war.
Yeah.
I know you and Lou DiBella have had wars like that before, but you guys, you know, seem
it's different
in good
with Lou
graces.
because, you know, Lou will tell you to your face.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff that went on with us and Espinoza. One thing that I alluded to in my tweets about the way he conducted his business. He had his thoughts about how I conducted my business. They were mistakes that he made, actually. He said that a contract was sent to me.
Were lines crossed by making it go public in Twitter, do you think?
I have no problem with it.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it should, we're very different businesses. Matchroom is my company. It's my family business, right? We can say whatever the fuck we want. We've got a lot of money, we're not arrogant, but it's our business. We don't work for anybody else. There's no shareholders. Mm-hmm. Steven Espinoza is a reasonably senior level with many people above him to that level. He has a responsibility to conduct business in a way that Showtime want that business to be conducted. And I can't imagine in a million years that the bosses of Showtime were watching that thinking, this is great. I was watching it, my dad was watching it, going, fucking this is great. Tell Espinoza what's what. You think the bosses of Showtime are doing the same? They're probably embarrassed. Like, they're a multi-billion-dollar organisation. You know, we're just little old Matchroom having a bit of fun on social media. So I think he has. I wonder whether he got a little slap wrist for that. Who knows? He'll have to speak to his bosses. But the difference for me is, many people now in that situation would say, "Fuck Espinosa. I'm not talking to Espinosa. No way." Like, he could phone me today. As far as I'm concerned, that didn't even happen, because I just forget. Everything is with a blank canvas in terms of making good business moves and making good fights for our fighters. So, and that's the problem that I think I have with Shelley and even Deontay. Like, Deontay has been warped by people telling him stuff about us, and he doesn't like us. But like, these people just need to understand it's boxing and it's business, and it is a weird world and it is a wacky world. But don't lose focus of the end goal and what's important, which is good fights, good business. And you should have enough about you to evaporate that ego when necessary to make good business and good fights. And I think that's what we do really well. And maybe, you know, like, people say to me, "How do you fucking deal with that guy? Like, you were just slagging him off," or you. I said, like, it's like, with DeBella, you know, DeBella. Like, me and Lou could have fallen out big time. Like, he said enough for me to have, like, really have the fuck DeBella. I'm making DeBella so much money. Like, with Tevin, Farmer and these guys. Good luck to him. I've known Lou since I was 11.
Wow.
Right? So, but the thing is with Lou is, he will phone me up and say, "You motherfucker, you do this, you do that, fuck it." And I will go, "Lou, fuck you." And I'll put the phone there. With Espinosa, different mentality.
Okay.
Different mentality. And he will weasel him round the back like he has done, tried to do with AJ. And it backfired on him. And he lost the biggest star in world boxing.
Wow. Wow. Well, Eddie, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Cheers,
A
mate.
little bit over 20 minutes.
All right.
Always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Nice one.